Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we shall demonstrate in full and in real time how to install LMDE7, codenamed Jigi, on the classic business laptop from over a decade ago, the Lenovo ThinkPad T420. If you're watching this video, perhaps you're fond of vintage hardware. Perhaps you're curious about the Debian-based Linux Mint and how it performs on older machines. Or maybe you've just unearthed a T420 from a drawer, a second-hand shop, or a recycling bin and wish to breathe new life into it. Whatever your reason, this video will be your ideal companion. We'll take you step by step, at a leisurely pace and with full commentary, guiding you from scratch to a clean, fully functional LMDE7 installation. Before we begin, let's briefly understand what LMDE is. LMDE stands for Linux Mint Debian Edition. Unlike the standard Ubuntu-based Linux Mint, LMDE is built directly upon Debian Stable. In this instance, we are using Debian 12 Bookworm. LMDE aims to deliver the same experience as Linux Mint without relying on Ubuntu. It is renowned for being lightweight, stable, and persistent. Consequently, it is particularly well suited for use with older laptops. The ThinkPad T420 was released around 2011, featuring Intel Sandy Bridge processors. Typically the i5-2520M, i5-2540M, or i7-2640M. It supported up to 16 GB of DDR3 memory and featured classic ThinkPad hallmarks such as an excellent keyboard, the red trackpoint pointing stick, ease of maintenance, and superb build quality. Over the years, I've installed dozens of Linux distributions on the T420, and even today, they continue to impress me in daily use. Right then, let's get started. Before commencing the installation, let us ensure all necessary items are at hand. Consider this our pre-flight checklist. First, your ThinkPad T420. Ensure it is fully charged, or ideally remain plugged into the mains throughout the process. Second, a USB drive with at least 8 GB capacity. This will serve as our installation medium. Third, a reliable internet connection. We require this to download the LMDE7 ISO file. Fourth, download the ISO and create a bootable USB on another computer. Finally, if your ThinkPad T420 hard drive contains any important data, back it up immediately. Once you have all these items ready, we can proceed to the next step. Our first step is to obtain the LMDE7 ISO file. This step requires a functional computer with an internet connection. Open your web browser, search for Linux Mint on Google, and visit the official Linux Mint website. On the official Linux Mint website, locate the Downloads section. You may see options labeled Linux Mint 22 and LMDE7. We need to locate the download link for LMDE7. It may reside under a separate section or be labeled as such. Ensure you are downloading LMDE7, not the Ubuntu-based Linux Mint. For faster download speeds, select a mirror location geographically close to you. The ISO file size will be approximately 3 GB, so please be patient. During the download, you might fancy a cup of coffee or check the BIOS settings on your T420, which we'll discuss below. After downloading, it's advisable to verify the integrity of the ISO file using the provided MD5 or SACHI256 checksum. This ensures the file wasn't corrupted during transfer. Instructions are typically available on the Linux Mint download page. During the download process, we require a tool to write the LMDE7 ISO file to a USB drive, rendering it bootable. I have selected Balena Etcher, which is also one of the tools officially recommended by Linux Mint. It is cross-platform, free, and exceptionally straightforward to use. Please download and install Etcher on your current computer. After downloading the LMDE7 ISO file and installing Etcher, insert your USB drive. Open Etcher, select the downloaded LMDE7 ISO file, then choose your USB drive as the target drive. Please double-check that you have selected the correct drive. Choosing the wrong one may erase important data on other drives. Click Flash and let Etcher work its magic. This process may take several minutes, depending on the speed of your USB drive. Upon completion, you will receive a confirmation message. Do not format the USB drive afterwards, simply eject it safely. Once the bootable USB is ready, we insert it into the ThinkPad T420. Power on the ThinkPad T420, then repeatedly press the F1 key to enter the BIOS utility settings. Within the BIOS, navigate to the Startup tab, then press the F9 key to restore default settings. Subsequently, set the UEFI Legacy Boot priority to UEFI only and press Enter to confirm. Thereafter, press F10 to save and exit. The ThinkPad T420 will now reboot. Upon seeing the ThinkPad boot screen again, press F12 to enter the boot menu. Within the boot menu, select to boot from USB HDD and press enter. We have now reached the LMDE7 boot menu. Typically, the first option, Start LMDE 764-bit, is the one we require. Select it and press enter. Your ThinkPad T420 laptop will load the fully functional LMDE7 Live environment directly from your USB drive without accessing your internal hard drive. On this ThinkPad T420, loading the LMDE7 Live environment took less than a minute. This live environment in LMDE7 is truly excellent, allowing you to test whether all the ThinkPad T420's hardware functions correctly. For instance, Wi-Fi, audio, touchpad, keyboard, USB ports. This is your opportunity to identify any compatibility issues before installation. You can access the existing drive within the live environment. If you haven't cleared the data yet, you can copy any necessary files, though you should have backed them up already. If you're implementing a manual partitioning scheme, you can also use the gparted tool to prepare partitions. Within LMDE7's live desktop environment, you can test or trial the operating system's various features. This ensures LMDE7 is compatible with your ThinkPad T420's hardware before proceeding with installation. If everything checks out in the tests, we can proceed with the installation. On the LMDE7 Live desktop, you'll notice an icon labeled Install Linux Mint. Double-click it to launch the installer. This graphical installer is highly user-friendly, guiding us step-by-step through the entire installation process. Click Let's Go to commence the installation. Step 1. Select your preferred language, which is typically your default language. Click Next to continue. Step 2. Tap your location on the map or enter your city. This will set your time zone. Step 3. Select your keyboard layout. You may also test it in the provided text box. Click Next to continue. Step 4. Create your user account. Enter your name, computer name, username, and password. You may also choose to log in automatically or require a password for login. Ensure you remember your password, as it will be needed for future system logins and administrative tasks. Step 5. Select the installation type. This is the most critical step. For most users, particularly if this is your sole operating system, or you can erase everything on the T420 hard drive, choose Automated Installation, meaning erase a disk and install LMDE on it. This is the simplest option and is strongly recommended for most users installing LMDE7 as the sole operating system on a ThinkPad T420. It will erase your entire hard drive and automatically create the necessary partitions. If you choose this option, ensure you have backed up your data. After selecting the installation type, the installer will ask you to confirm changes to the disk. Read the warnings carefully and only click Yes when absolutely certain. Step 6. Install the GRUB bootloader. The default configuration is usually our choice. Click Next to proceed. Step 7. After filling in all information, the installer will display a summary of your selections. Please conduct a final review. Should you spot any errors, you may return and make changes. If everything is correct, click Install. The installation process will now commence. During this period, the installer will copy files, install the system, and configure all settings. On this ThinkPad T420 laptop, the LMDE7 installation process actually took under 7 minutes. During this time, you'll see a progress bar alongside slides detailing LMDE7 features and usage tips. This is a splendid way to pass the time whilst learning more about your new operating system. It's also an excellent opportunity to witness the magic unfold. During this period, let us briefly discuss LMDE. LMDE was originally conceived as a fallback solution, even should Ubuntu cease to exist. Linux Mint could continue operating without interruption. In practice, however, LMDE has also attracted users seeking a stable, Debian-based system without confronting Debian's more minimalistic installation approach. LMDE offers Mint's tools, Mint's update manager, and Mint's user-friendly philosophy. While retaining Debian's reliability, you'll also find LMDE to be slightly more lightweight than the Ubuntu-based Linux Mint. Upon completion of the installation, you will see a message prompting you to restart the system. Click Yes and the system will reboot. During the restart, once the screen turns black, The system will prompt you to remove the USB installation media. When prompted, perform this action and press Enter to continue. This is crucial to prevent your ThinkPad T420 from attempting to boot from the USB again. Your ThinkPad T420 will now restart, this time booting directly into your newly installed LMDE7. Welcome to the all-new LMDE7 desktop. The first thing you'll likely see is the welcome screen. This is a rather splendid tool, and I usually keep it enabled. The welcome screen provides quick links to documentation, the driver manager, the software manager, and system settings. Let's take a moment to explore it. We shall begin with the first steps. The initial setting within first steps concerns desktop color schemes. Here, you may select your preferred color palette and choose between light or dark desktop themes. The system's default recommendation is mixed mode. In this configuration, most applications adopt a light theme, while certain desktop elements employ dark styling to create visual contrast. Within advanced settings, we can individually configure the style for mouse pointers, applications, icons, and the desktop itself. Simultaneously, under Add Remove, we can access the latest and most popular themes from the web to expand or supplement our theme library. Within Settings, we can make more granular adjustments to theme and desktop configurations. The second step in First Steps is System Snapshot Configuration. Here, we can configure automatic system snapshots. It is advisable to set up at least 2 daily snapshots and 2 boot snapshots. Should any issues arise, you can restore your computer to a previous working state. All these operations can be completed with just a few mouse clicks. The third item in First Steps is Multimedia Codecs. To support certain formats and play popular audio, video, and web content, additional multimedia codecs are required. We can click the button below to install them. The system will first update the cache, after which it may ask whether you wish to install Mint Meta codecs. Upon clicking Install, the system will request your password for verification, then proceed to download and install the packages. The fourth step in First Steps is the Update Manager. The small shield icon in the system tray represents the Update Manager. It provides software updates, security patches, and kernel updates to fix vulnerabilities, ensure computer security, and support newer hardware components. Click Launch to start it. Upon first launch, Linux Mint recommends setting up automatic system snapshots and applying all available updates. This keeps your computer secure and allows you to roll back at any time to recover from potential regressions. Click OK to continue. The system prompts whether to switch to a local mirror, as these typically offer faster speeds than the default remote mirrors. My recommendation is to switch to the nearest local mirror. The fifth section in First Steps is System Settings. Here you can review system configurations and tailor the operating system to your preferences. Feel free to personalize it extensively, creating a familiar and comfortable environment. The entire settings panel is organized into several main categories, as intuitive as your mobile phone's settings appearance, preferences, hardware, administration, and users. Today, we'll focus on several key points that will significantly enhance your experience. First is appearance. This is where you can make your LMDE7 truly unique. Within the background section, exquisite wallpapers are essential. LMDE7 comes with a wealth of high-quality wallpapers, allowing you to change them at any time to suit your mood. The themes section, which we've already glimpsed, deserves further mention. Here you can effortlessly alter the overall aesthetic of the Cinnamon desktop environment. Fancy a dark mode? Switch it with a single click. Want a more vibrant icon set? Done in an instant. What are applets? They are those handy little tools residing on your bottom panel. They grant one-click access to system information or swiftly execute various tasks. For instance, your clock, volume control, and network connection icons are quintessential examples of applets. The most intriguing feature is the Downloadable tab. Here, you can browse and download new applets contributed by the community, much like visiting an app store. Install them with a single click to effortlessly customize your panel. Whether you seek a more sophisticated system monitor or a more convenient calendar, you'll find it here. Within the desktop settings, you can configure which icons appear on your desktop, such as computer, home trash, mounted drives, and network. Finally, let's examine the System Info section. Here you can view the operating system and Linux kernel version numbers, along with details on your processor, memory, hard drive, graphics card model, and the display server version number. The sixth step in First Steps is the Software Manager. For many new Linux users, installing and managing software may sound rather complex, but LMDE 7 makes it simple and intuitive. Upon entering the Software Manager, you'll find the interface designed to be exceptionally user-friendly, unlike the coldness of the command line. All software is clearly categorized by purpose, such as Office, image processing, programming, and so forth. If you have a specific goal in mind, simply use the search bar at the top, enter the software name, and you'll swiftly locate the application you require. Every program within the Software Manager originates from official and trusted software repositories, ensuring both security and reliability. You needn't worry about downloading malicious programs or incompatible versions, providing you with a secure and dependable software environment. Approximately 60,000 applications are available within the Software Manager, encompassing web browsers, Office suites, media players, games, and more. You may search for LibreOffice, VLC Media Player, GMP, or any other program you might require. Naturally, LMDE 7 includes the most essential software to facilitate an easy start. The seventh step in First Steps covers firewall configuration. Here you can enable the firewall to control and monitor network traffic. In today's increasingly critical cybersecurity landscape, the firewall serves as your computer's first line of defense. In LMDE 7, we primarily utilize UFW, Uncomplicated Firewall, which is integrated into system settings as a graphical interface, making operation straightforward and intuitive. By default, LMDE 7's firewall is disabled. For your device's security, we strongly recommend enabling it. Next, we move on to the documentation section. The Linux Mint documentation comprises a series of guides available in PDF, EPUB, and HTML formats supporting multiple languages. Whether you're new to Linux or an experienced user, this section serves as your knowledge repository. By clicking through, you'll find the comprehensive LMDE 7 user guide, which clearly outlines system settings, software management, daily usage tips, and more. From installation procedures to advanced configurations, the documentation addresses most queries, helping you swiftly master the system. We strongly recommend spending a few minutes browsing it to enhance your user experience. The second item in the documentation section is the release notes. These outline known issues, feature limitations, and workarounds for this version of Linux Mint. The release notes also contain all compatibility advisories we need to be aware of. This ensures your LMDE 7 experience is smooth and secure from the outset. Next, we move on to the Help section. The first item under Help is web forums. Should you encounter any difficulties whilst using LMDE 7, or simply wish to share your configurations and experiences with the community, the official forums are your primary destination. Web forums constitute a vibrant and resource-rich knowledge base, bringing together thousands of enthusiastic Linux Mint and LMDE users alongside professional developers. Here, you can post detailed technical queries and receive step-by-step guidance from experienced users. Here, you can browse dedicated sections for tutorials, guides, and frequently asked questions. Here, you can engage in in-depth discussions about new features, releases, and the wider Linux ecosystem. Whether you're a novice or a seasoned user, the Linux Mint forums remain the premier community for sustained support and knowledge accumulation. In the second chat room under Help, should you require swift, real-time feedback or simply wish to chat with someone immediately, join the official instant chat room. This IRC-based chat room serves as the community's digital coffee shop, with members online around the clock. Upon joining, you may pose urgent minor queries and receive instant assistance. Upon joining, you can engage in friendly exchanges with other LMDE users worldwide. Upon joining, you may even encounter members of the Linux Mint core team. Please remember to remain courteous and patient when asking questions in the chat room. The community is delighted to provide swift, friendly support. Finally, we come to Contribute. Linux Mint is a splendid project welcoming any aspiring contributors to join. There are numerous ways to participate. You may share your feedback. Should you encounter bugs whilst using the system or have fresh ideas or suggestions for features, please submit them through official channels at any time. This is the vital impetus for improvement. You may assist other users with queries on the official forums. Share your knowledge and solutions, enabling everyone to benefit from the community. If you possess writing skills or linguistic expertise, you can assist in refining Linux Mint's documentation or translate its software and resources into your native language, thereby expanding LMDE7's global reach. For those with programming experience, direct involvement in code development and testing is welcome. Linux Mint encourages optimizations and fixes for the Debian base, desktop environments, and core applications. This concludes the introduction to Welcome. Next, we shall proceed to update the system by clicking the small shield icon in the system tray to open Update Manager. We could see the names and version numbers of available updates. Clicking Install Updates, then entering the password for authentication, prompted Update Manager to begin downloading the updates. This process took a little time. Once the download completed, the system prompted us to configuring keyboard layout. Clicking Next to continue, the system began installing the updates. On this ThinkPad T420, LMDE7's first update installation took approximately 2.5 minutes. Upon completion of the updates, the system will prompt you to restart the computer to apply the newly installed updates. Of course, besides using the Update Manager, you can also update the system via the terminal using command line tools. Enter sudo apt update and press enter to execute. Enter your password to confirm, and the system will begin checking for updates. Subsequently, enter sudo apt get dist upgrade to install the updates. Next, following my personal preference, I proceeded to install Vim and FastFetch. Incidentally, I used FastFetch to review the system information. Next, we'll restart the computer to apply the newly installed updates. Next, I shall share my understanding of LMDE7. First, let us establish the fundamental concepts. LMDE, an acronym for Linux Mint Debian Edition, is an alternative version of Mint developed by the Linux Mint team. It is not based on Ubuntu, but rather built directly upon Debian. Why does LMDE exist? Essentially, LMDE serves as the Mint team's contingency plan. Should Ubuntu alter its development direction for any reason, making it difficult for Mint to continue building upon Ubuntu, LMDE ensures Linux Mint can maintain stable operation. You retain the familiar Linux Mint desktop, Mint tools, and Cinnamon environment, but the underlying foundation is pure Debian. LMDE7 Gigi is a system based on Debian 12, offering a modern, stable, and exceptionally reliable experience. Now let us discuss the new additions in LMDE7. LMDE's release cycle differs from that of the main Linux Mint versions, yet LMDE7 still brings numerous updates. Here are the key highlights. Firstly, it is based on Debian 12 Bookworm. This forms the foundation of LMDE7. Debian 12 incorporates updated packages, newer drivers, and improved hardware support. Second is Cinnamon Desktop 6.2. This version of Cinnamon delivers smoother animations, enhanced Wayland progress control, improved file manager performance, and a more streamlined UI. Third is Linux kernel 6.1 LTS. Though not the latest kernel, it offers exceptional stability, ideal for reliability-focused distributions like Mint. Fourthly, updated Mint tools. Compared to previous versions, it features a revamped Mint software manager, system reports, Warpinator, and an improved driver manager. Fifthly, better Secure Boot compatibility. LMDE7 now supports Secure Boot on a wider range of hardware configurations. Sixthly, new installer improvements. The Calamares installer in LMDE has been optimized for enhanced user-friendliness. Next, let us discuss the system requirements. LMDE7 shares the same system requirements as Linux Mint Cinnamon. Minimum 2 GB RAMs, 4 GB recommended. Minimum 20 GB storage space, 100 GB recommended. 64-bit processor. If you're using older hardware, such as a ThinkPad, an older Dell Latitude, or an economical desktop, LMDE may perform surprisingly well. Now let us discuss performance. Upon a fresh boot, LMDE7 typically utilizes 600 MB to 750 MB of memory. CPU usage remains exceptionally low, even on older laptops. LMDE7 maintains smooth operation. Cinnamon 6.2's animations are smoother, and switching between applications is more responsive. LMDE7 also benefits from Debian's stability, no peculiar package conflicts, or unexpected failures. LMDE7 includes standard Linux Mint applications such as Firefox ESR LibreOffice, Celluloid, Timeshift Warpinator, Mint Software Manager, and Nemo File Manager. LMDE7 Software Manager pulls applications from the Debian repositories rather than the Ubuntu repositories, yet everything runs just as smoothly. Flatpak is enabled by default, allowing you to install modern applications from FlatHub. Another point that may surprise some is that LMDE7 performs exceptionally well for gaming. Thanks to the Mesa version in Debian 12 and Steam support, LMDE7 can run games via Steam, Proton, Lutris, and Heroic Launcher. While not cutting edge, its stability is exceptional. Titles like Portal, CSGO, Stardew Valley, and even many 3A releases run smoothly. You may be wondering, should you use LMDE instead of regular Linux Mint? LMDE is suitable for you if you want a Mint system but desire the stability of Debian. You prefer fewer upstream changes. You require long-term reliability. You dislike Ubuntu's Snap ecosystem. LMDE may not be suitable for you if you require the latest hardware support. You rely on Ubuntu PPAs. You need the most recent kernel. LMDE prioritizes reliability over cutting-edge technology. LMDE7 Gigi stands as one of the most polished Debian-based desktop distributions currently available. It is swift, remarkably stable, beautifully designed, and exceptionally beginner-friendly. Whilst LMDE7 cannot replace the conventional Linux Mint, it presents a formidable alternative. Should you desire Mint without resorting to Ubuntu, LMDE7 serves as an excellent fallback option. I've always enjoyed using LMDE7 for everyday tasks, browsing the web, watching videos, playing some lightweight games, handling office work, and it has consistently proven to be remarkably stable and reliable. Have you installed Linux on a ThinkPad T420 laptop? Have you installed LMDE7 Gigi on an old laptop? Which vintage machine have you revived with Linux? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check the show notes for LMDE7 download links. Thank you for watching. I hope this sharing has been enlightening. See you in the next video.